Welcome to the Realtor for Hoopers podcast.
When I pull up with my dogs, we gon' ball like Swish. No, I ball like. No, I ball like.
Today we have episode 9 of the interview series, and we're interviewing a man that once scored 19 out of 21 points in a FIBA 3-on-3 game, which is still an all-time record. His name is Corey Campbell. Corey is just a great man. He's one of my best friends. In this episode, we do just kind of try to cover all bases. He goes through a story about, growing up in Cali, going to Colorado high schools, through JUCO, then to go to Chaminade. It's a school in Hawaii. Then how he got connected to FIBA 3-on-3. We go through funny stories about taking his teammate to a hospital in Puerto Rico. All-time starting 5, shooters only. Lots of fun things in this episode. So let's get straight to it. Welcome. I've got a very special guest today. Part of this podcast is to give an opportunity for people to share their stories. And one of my best friends in the Colorado basketball community is Corey Campbell. Corey's graciously agreed to be on the podcast. So, Corey, appreciate you coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
First question we always ask everyone is, tell us your basketball story.
Well, I'll say it started about 6th grade.
Okay.
I would actually, like on the weekends, I'd wake up about 7 o'clock in the morning, go out and play basketball.
Where you grew up?
It's a little place this little area called Lincoln Park. It's out in San Diego. Yep. It's like a little north of National City.
Okay.
But yeah, from 6th grade to like 8th grade, just like playing. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But after that, I got moved to, my family moved me out here to Colorado to be with my dad. I tried out my freshman year at Eagle Crest, got cut, went to Smoky Hill for the rest of my high school, rest of my time in high school. I didn't even try out sophomore year because I was like, man, I'm not going to make the team anyway. So junior year comes, everybody's like convincing me to try out. Tried out, made it, played JV, swung varsity. But senior year, made varsity. Wasn't that good. I was just an athlete.
Okay.
I couldn't dribble, couldn't shoot. I know a lot of people probably not gonna believe that.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that.
But honestly, back then, like I could run, I can jump. Like I used to like dunk on people. I know people ain't gonna believe that either. But yeah,
I don't believe it now. But yeah.
So after high school, I wasn't recruited by nobody. So I worked at Big O Tires for a year.
Okay.
Kind of just had one of those moments where like I got to do something with my life. Just worked on my game. Just watched a bunch of Ray Allen videos. So that's kind of where my form kind of comes from. It's not exactly like his because his is too pretty.
Yeah.
But went and tried out at Otero Junior College, and my coach Mosier ended up signing me that day, and been on history. Had 2 good years. At Otero, my sophomore year, we was actually ranked 10th in the nation. We won like 22 games in a row before we lost one. Yeah, we did.
It's impressive on any level.
Yeah, so we did good there. Got a letter from Chaminade University out in Hawaii. I still to this day don't know how they found me in that little town. But they didn't have to convince me much. They was like, well, we're in Hawaii. You'll be on the March Madness game. So I was like, well, when can I sign? Can I sign right now? So I ended up signing that very first phone call. So after Otero, went to Chaminade. I played my last 2 years there. It was okay. I say I could have had a better experience. I feel like I didn't really take basketball that serious once I got there.
Okay.
As much as I should have. But like when you play in the Maui, it's like it's hard to explain. It's like you get treated like an NBA star.
Okay.
So like your hotel, everything is top notch. Like my first year, my room was right across from Roy Williams, coach for North Carolina. And for some reason, we would always leave the door at the same time, and we just have conversations in the elevator.
That's so cool.
Yeah. After Chaminade, tried to get overseas, played in a few pro camps in Las Vegas. Got in touch with a few coaches, but for some reason they wouldn't sign me because I didn't have an agent.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had to have an agent at the time. So that fell through. Kind of gave up. Got involved with the Colorado Kings ABA team here, which was fun. That's where I met a ton of guys who's like my brothers now.
So ABA is a smaller pro level league that's here in Colorado. They travel all over the country.
Yep. We played in China 2 times. It's kind of, it was a good few years, but I feel like the ABA is kind of unorganized.
Yeah.
Not on our end, but like other teams, like you could have the best record in the ABA, but if another team pays more as far as where you play, they easily persuaded to do that.
Got it. So it's more of a business than actual and unethical maybe practices too than actual just earning your spot.
Yep.
Okay.
Then finally got involved with FIBA 3-on-3.
What year is this? First,
2012, I think it was.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, 2012. So Derek Griffin, he actually approached me after a league game at Whitlock, kind of pitching the whole deal, and I was like, "There's no way that they're gonna pay us and pay for our flights to go travel, the world." And I was like, "There's no way." So I was like, "All right, we'll play in this first little qualifier tournament." We ended up winning, and they was like, "All right, well, we'll send you to New York to play in the world, the North American final." And still didn't believe it until we actually got on the plane. I was like, "Oh, this is happening." So we get to New York. They had a whole nice setup court right in front of the Met Stadium.
Okay.
And we played a few New York teams, which was tough. Got into the semifinals against a team from Canada. Derek hit the game winner. We ended up in the championships against Puerto Rico, and I ended up hitting the game winner for that one. So that was probably one of the highlights of my time playing basketball.
And then at that point, once you win that, you're now in the
it's like a world final.
Yeah.
So like after that, actually the world final ended up being still here in the States. It was in Miami.
Okay.
And so we show up to Miami, doing pretty good. One of our players, Pat Hanaway, ends up tearing his ACL, and that just ruined everything. We had no sub. We were tired. Puerto Rico ended up winning that. The same team that we beat in New York. Yeah.
Well, good, man. Well, now that we've kind of heard your story, and I appreciate that, by the way, what is something that you think, what is kind of one thing that now that your daughter's playing and things like that you would say to her, or that you're consistently saying to her, or would say to any youth player? Like, what's one thing, like one message, one word of advice, something that you would like to kind of pass along to the next generation if you had to pick out like one thing?
Well, I try to tell her, just be confident, believe in yourself. Don't worry about making mistakes. Like nobody in the history of basketball has played a perfect game.
Nope.
Like Steph Curry doesn't make every shot.
Yeah.
So like with her during her games, she'll miss a shot, do a turnover, and she'll look right up in the stands at me. And I try to stress to her, I'm like, no, stop looking at me, man. Like, just play a game, believe in yourself. But what was it, Kobe? I always try to tell her, Kobe said, he was like, there's no such thing as failure. It's just all like lessons.
Yeah.
I try to tell her that. So
yeah, I think there's just something to be said about ups and downs and being able to like have confidence you're gonna like succeed no matter if you fail in the next moment or not, that you're still like, I have every capability to do what I'm trying to do here. And and especially in basketball, because your next opportunity comes so fast.
yeah.
Like it's thousands of little decisions every moment in a basketball game. It's not just like I'm going to make one decision and it's pass or fail. There's so many little decisions you make while you're playing that go so fast that it means a lot for you just to be like, I'm good. I'm just keep playing. I'm going to keep playing because I think that you just have so much more opportunities to actually do well than playing hesitant or not. Like the coaches all on every level always say like, don't be afraid to turn the ball over. Because once you're afraid to turn the ball over, you're going to turn the ball over.
Yeah. You're going to do a lot worse than just turning the ball over.
Exactly. Well, cool. All right. So then going back to the FIBA 3-on-3, I can imagine there's just tons of experiences and places you've been and, travel stories, interactions with people from different countries and whatever. But just want to hear kind of one crazy or fun story that you'd want to share. And don't be afraid to put anybody on blast. But
so we're in Puerto Rico one morning. I think it's like 5 a.m. Derek Griffin, my teammate, he wakes me up, but he's like walking towards my bed like an old man just hunched over. He's like, Corey, man, like what's wrong with me, man? I'm like, dude, what is going on, man? We about to play in a few hours. So he's like, man, I'm peeing blood and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, oh man, we gotta call we gotta get you to the hospital.
Yeah.
So we go down to
in a foreign country.
Yep. So I was like, we can't call anybody.
Yeah.
So we don't speak their language or nothing. So we go to the front desk. They get an ambulance to come get him, and so I'm with him. So we get to the hospital, and hospital is just a giant room with just curtains like separating everybody. So you hear all these people like moaning and just in pain. And I'm like, man, I can't leave you here because I don't know what's going to happen to you. So we're there for about an hour and we have a game in like 30 minutes. And I was like, dude, I can't leave you. So I called his mom. I was like, no, he'll be fine. Just go to the game. And all right, man. I try to tell you. I'm trying to.
God bless.
I don't want nothing to happen to you. So I get to the game, and then he makes it to the game a little later. To the very next game, first play of the game, he rolls his ankle. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be another disaster tournament. Yeah. So my other teammates, Derek Lemieux and Dominic, is like, well, we're just gonna set screens for you. You're just gonna have to shoot everything. I was like, I would not disagree with that. So
I can agree to that statement.
That's kind of what started the 19-point game.
You played a 21 and 3-on-3s.
Yep. So they ended up scoring 19 against a Philadelphia team, and ever since then, now FIBA made a video on it, wrote a book about it. That's what sparked it.
That's funny. So I'm glad Derek's fine. Just had some kidney stones. He's good. Derek's fine to this day. But about that 19-point game, I've had, because people know that I know Corey. So people have come up to me like showing the video, like, is this the Corey that you know, of his 19-point game? So it made international news that this dude just got in the zone like nobody else, and it was impressive to see. So
yeah, it was a pretty good time.
All right, so we're gonna go with kind of like a barbershop debate question here. Okay, so they have to be shooters, and it has to be each position: point guard, shooting guard, all the way to center. But you got to do your all-time starting five. We both consider ourselves shooters, so just shooter to shooter. Who's your all-time starting five in the NBA? But you have to pick one from each position. And I will tell you if you're wrong.
So point guard, I got Steph Curry.
Nobody's debating with that. Got it?
Second, shooting guard, I got Steph Curry. No, I'm just kidding. Got Ray Allen.
Okay.
Small forward, Larry Bird. Power forward. I'm gonna make Kevin Durant play power forward.
He is 6'11", so I can.
Center.
Excuse me.
I probably have to go with Joel Embiid, just because I feel like he can score from anywhere.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anybody.
So here's mine, Steph. I went with Reggie Miller at my 2.
Yeah.
I went with Ray at my 3. Larry Bird at my 4. A little small.
Dang, that's good.
It was hard to leave Kevin Durant off because he's actually my favorite player of all time is Kevin Durant.
Really?
Yep. Huh. My 5 is a little controversial, but I think he's actually a shooter. Karl Anthony Towns.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good one. He's
won a 3-point contest. You know, because Embiid, I get with Embiid's definitely a better player. I'm not debating with that at all that, but like nobody's gonna like qualify him as a shooter.
I see it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's a good one.
Yeah,
I like that one better.
But sitters are hard. Like you can't do like Andre Bargnani or like, well, you can't do that. You know, like just try to think about it. But cool. All right. Well, Corey, I appreciate it. But I got one more question for you. But before that, I just want to acknowledge you for, man, how you show up in the world. You're a very unassuming guy and all that. Like you don't like a lot of attention on you, but like you've always just been a good guy on and off the court. We just finished hooping together. That's always fun to hoop with you. Just how much you're investing in your daughter now and just all the good relationships that you have around this state, whether you know it or not. There's hundreds and thousands of people that think the world of you. And I think that's just a testament of how you show up in the world and the man you are. So just want to make sure you know that. So
appreciate it, man.
We're good, man.
Appreciate it.
Last question. You got to pick one thing. What's your favorite thing about basketball?
It's about how it makes me feel. Like it's like my escape from the world.
Yeah.
So like even when I had games in high school, college, whatever, I literally can't hear anything in the stands. I can only hear what's going on the court. So it's my escape. It's my pen. It's my Zen garden.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. It's what my wife calls it, active therapy.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
So, well, good, man. Well, I appreciate you making the time. Yeah, man. Love everything. Love knowing you for all these years. It's been, man, might be close to 2 decades now.
Yeah, I think I had hair last time.
Yeah, you definitely had. And we both had less belly fat at that point too. So, well, good, man. Well, Corey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Okay.
Told you little boys I don't miss, and my bank looking good like a shot that I kiss. Oof. And I got some gold on my wrist. When I pull up with my dogs, we gon' ball like Swish. Oof. Swish, swish. No, I ball like Swish, swish. No, I ball like Swish, swish. No, I ball like feeling like the new GOAT. Better call Mike.